You may be enjoying this splendid landscape. If you want to see more, do not hesitate to join us in our balade in the Namur province, Belgium, which link is available here. Unfortunately, as in neighboring provinces like in the province de Liège and even more severely in Germany, Netherlands, and North Italy, torrential rain hit the region after 2 weeks of uninterrupted rainfall. You can see on these images that this field has been devastated. Or have a look at these three willows. Their roots have been overthrown by the little river which flows at their feet. They had to be cut down because they fell on the road. We will share with you today our experience in managing a light flood. 2 videos on this topic. The first video concerns everyone and presents the first measures to take and, above all, manual tools to evacuate water in the most effective way. A second video, oriented towards viewers exposed to water risks, presents the power tools which are an essential complement to manual tools, under the condition that there is still power in the house. Before starting, let us tell you that we are talking about this subject with great humility, as the destiny has hit many homes hard, sometimes with the death of relatives and dramatic consequences on many lives. We would like to express our compassion here for the people concerned in the region and beyond.
Let's come to today's video, my friends. Be very sensitive to any precursor phenomena. In the afternoon of the day before the flooding, this water puddle appeared in the dining rooms. If you are not enough people, try to find help. Go to see your neighbors, they can lend you tools or give you a hand. On this very day, my neighbors lent me their squeegee and spontaneously offered me to lend their pump. I take this opportunity of this video to thank them. Especially if you are alone, apart from the difficulty of coping with these quantities of water, it is a big challenge in which you should not remain isolated. Call your friends, family, colleagues. Call your insurer. This is something that needs to be done anyway. He or she will be able to give you some advice and some comfort. In any case, do not remain isolated. From a more practical point of view, the first reflex is to cut off the electricity circuits which supply circuits that are very exposed to water, generally the ones of the cellar and the boiler. Then you need to save the furniture. So one of the first priority, if you have some valuable furniture, is to protect it and to remove it at places where there is no water on the ground. So this you can do quickly, and that's the first thing to do. Another way of protecting the furniture in case it's too big, you can put a piece of wood below so the feet won't stay in the water. It is not always easy to identify where the water enters, but try to find the source of the infiltrations. This will allow you to better target your intervention, for example, by affixing dams with towels, as you will see afterwards. Very often, water penetrates at the bottom of the walls, where the water arrives clearly from the underside of the plinth, even between the plinths, as you can see here. The water flow through this very point has been permanent, a sign that we had to prepare ourselves to evacuate liters and liters of water in the day. At the level of the tools, try to retrieve all possible basins and buckets, which you will need to wipe out towels and floor clothes. On these images, you see the usefulness of a brick layer basin which, thanks to its low height, allows the water to be collected from your squeegee intervention. In this house, obviously, all the water pressure is coming from this side because there's a garden which is going down towards the house. So what we'll be doing now, as we know that the main source of the water is this wall, we'll make a kind of dam, barrage, for avoiding that the water is pouring out towards the whole surface of the ground. Here all the floor clothes and towels have been wiped out, and the hint is to put them on the floor on their whole surface. As a general rule, there are more towels than floor clothes at home, which doesn't fall worse as towels have a better absorption capacity. So take what you find. If you do not have old towels, take the ones you have. They will be, in principle, easy to wash. And we take advantage of this break for aspiring the water which is behind. Of course, the duration of this protection is limited in time because once it's full of water, the water will continue to go to this direction. So for this reason, you need to essorer them on a regular base. Can be 5 minutes or can be every 10 minutes or maybe half an hour when it's better. But at least it avoids the water for a couple of minutes to go further. This is it, my friends. Here is your program of the day. You will spend your time wiping out. But be reassured, you will have the opportunity to alternate this exercise with the exercise of the squeegee, which I will address in 1 minute. If you still have power, do not hesitate to put some music. I will put this time some music in a very different style from my video on how to find the right electrical circuit when doing works. Let's go! Another way of doing these dams is to use old long carpets. Here you see the effectiveness of this mitigating measure. On the left, the water is held by the carpet, and on the right, the floor remains dry. Obviously, the duration of the protection depends on the volume of water infiltrated. The squeegee is the tool that allows you to retrieve the bulk of the water. It makes it possible to convey a volume of water which the floor clothes or the towels will not have the capacity to absorb at all. It is therefore best to use before the towels. Don't get discouraged because you will have the feeling that it doesn't serve anything given that the water returns all the time. But this is not true. Your intervention is decisive. The key word of the day is perseverance. Here you can see the effects of the squeegee. You see that it's dry in the back. Here on the right it's before and left after. This is an important image for the squeegee, and care must be taken to ensure that the water is evacuated from the house. See here the usefulness of the mason basin, which allows the water to be collected in order to get it out of the house. If you have the opportunity, make sure the water is poured directly outside or into the sewer, as pouring the content of the basins and buckets into a sink will take you more time, and in the precipitation you may set aside it. In the case of the squeegee, the water is very often pushed outside by the entrance door. Before concluding, a few images of spaces from which water had been evacuated. It is covered by water 5 minutes after. So remember, stay perseverant. In our case, this lasted a good day. That's it, my friends. This video on the management of light floods is coming to an end. I hope you found it interesting. If so, please leave me a like or subscribe to the channel. In any case, I can only wish you not to face such a situation. If your home is not exposed to this kind of risk, you maybe encounter it in your holiday home, so you will not have lost your time today. If, on the other hand, your house is exposed, I can only recommend that you get equipped with electrical devices, which I will have the pleasure of presenting you in my second video on the subject. Otherwise, I hope to see you very soon on Happy Hour TV1 for much less stressful works.